Well, chances are you've seen aliens in the news headlines over the last few weeks. Now, I usually don't get into this sort of subject, but it does touch on our faith. And actually, if you saw just not long ago, Cardinal McElroy over in Washington, D.C., removed a priest from the role of exorcism in the archdiocese, over a comment he made on how aliens are demons. Now, we have an article up at Integrity that Catholic Esquire wrote, and it was on why modernists want aliens to exist. And if you go and read that, you'll understand why McElroy was so quick to take action. Now, I think it's worth spending some time, therefore, on this subject, especially in light of the new Disclosure Day movie that's coming out. Steven Spielberg, famous Jewish American, was the producer of that. So I'm bringing on somebody who has seen the movie and who has some other insights, especially on how this might relate to the faith, how it's probably a Psy-Op coordinated with the government to have people doubt organized religion, Catholicism especially, and maybe do something else with it. Who knows? But this is a first-time guest today, coming to us all the way from overseas. David Smuts is our guest. David, thank you for being here.
Hi, Stephen. Thank you for inviting me here. This is a true honor. I'm blessed to be here, and I really do appreciate this opportunity to speak on this subject, which I think is really timely and very apt, and something Catholics need to pay attention to.
Well, I just wanted you on for your British accent, but we can talk about all that stuff too. But it's great that you're here. Thank you for coming. And now you've seen this movie, Disclosure Day. I'm happy for you to kind of spoil it because I'm not going to see it. I'm not giving Hollywood any more of my money. I haven't been to a movie I think in over 15 years. Thank you for suffering through that for me and for others who are probably asking your opinion. What can you tell us about the movie first of all? Then we'll talk about kind of what you think, why this is even made, and what's going on with it.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Peter Nelson. I am president of Nelson Insurance Advisors. We specialize in using non-woke Catholic fraternal insurance companies in order to protect our clients and members, whether it be in regard to life insurance or retirement planning. We have over 24 years of experience in the insurance and financial services industry, and we want to do business with people that believe the way that we believe. You can reach us at 423-793-2613 or on our website at nelsonplan.com. God bless. Godspeed.
Sure. First of all, it's not a Close Encounters 2.0.
Okay.
So anyone looking for that, which I consider a cinematic masterpiece, it's not that. It's not a entertaining film. It's intentionally designed to be, quote unquote, thought-provoking, and make you feel uncomfortable and make you question your sense of reality and your perception of what is real and what is fake, or be confused between the two. And that is a common theme throughout the film. There are some, I see the cross there. That I've been speaking about that on some other spaces. There are some disturbing themes there that as a Christian, I object to, all the more so as a Catholic. They're kind of subtle. So, someone outside of the faith or even a non-Catholic will look at this and say, what are you complaining about? You Catholics are always complaining about something. It's respectful. I've heard all of those excuses, and it wouldn't do the job that it's intended to do if it was overt. So it's mostly subtle, but you and I and others like us will pick up on these things that they're sending out to us.
So what's the plot line, if you don't mind me interrupting?
No.
Emily Blunt is this main character. She's a woman. She seems to be a news anchor of sorts, and and she's sort of revealing, or what is the story here?
The story is that there are these files and proof of life outside the universe, that this shadowy organization, which we don't really know where they fit in government, but they're called Wardex later on in the film, and they're like a deep state CIA type of organization that is a law unto itself.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like we're living through. Yep.
Yeah, and this entity will go to any lengths necessary to keep this information becoming public, because they feel that if it's going to be released, it will shatter, the world, and society will collapse and all that, blah-de-da, blah-de-da. And they're kind of portrayed in, I don't know how much how au fait you are with ufology and the cinema portrayals of it, but they're the archetypal men in black, the guys in the dark suits. Mm-hmm. They're in black combat fatigues, black helicopters, black Land Rovers, and they're the bad guys. Yeah, straight up, they're the bad guys.
Yeah. So they just don't want the information to get out, essentially, and that's sort of the
correct. And okay. we have a hero character. I forget the name of the character. It's played by Josh O'Connor, and he has a moral dilemma. He's in this organization and he wants the information out because he's discovered some things, and he's feels duty bound now to get the information out. And this is what it's all about, leading up to his pursuit of disclosing the information. Okay. And Emily Blunt is another hero. She's separate. At first they don't know who either of each other are, but she has an episode during her live broadcast of, I think she's a weather girl in Kansas City, and then she starts suddenly going.
This is the alien language or something?
The alien language, alien Morse code. And the bad guys watch the broadcast and pick up on this, and so they're alerted to her. Yeah. And she's going home, and around this time, she's developing what we may call psychical gifts. Something that.
This is what the animals were doing there. They were speaking with her, I guess, or something. Or...
Yeah, but what's really noticeable to me, someone who's researched a little bit about the subject of exorcisms and paranormal phenomena, is that she's exhibiting things that you and that an exorcist would say, oh, that's the symptom of possession. She's speaking unknown languages to her.
Right.
She's got Jedi mind control tricks. She can, know your life story without you having disclosed it to her previously. She's got telepathic skills, and it's all great. So these things that we see as demonic gifts, in the field of exorcism, this is cosmic knowledge. This is a great thing. And
let's maybe stop there. I don't want, it actually doesn't sound too bad, but I mean, we could talk for hours about the rest of the plot. I guess let's backtrack a second, because you did say a second ago, and I'll just bring up on the screen the way they're promoting this in one of the trailers. Here's a thumbnail. So you got the all-seeing eye there, right? Masonic Illuminati overtures over there. What do you think then is the purpose of this? Obviously, there's a lot of layers here. It sounds, exactly like sort of what we're living through. What is its end? Why is this being made in the first place?
I think it's coordinated. It's no coincidence that this film is coming out when it is. The messaging is synchronous with other messaging that we're hearing from curiously enough, the Vatican through certain channels. The objective, I think, is to cast doubt in the mind, to introduce alternative concepts and confuse people.
Do you think that's now for a reason, though? Because, I mean, aliens, look, I mean, the government has probably practiced this or prepared this sort of rollout for many years. Spielberg himself has made, as you mentioned, numerous movies on extraterrestrial so-called life. Why then maybe now? What's unique about this moment, you think?
Well, it's coinciding with government messaging. It's coinciding with a change in tone in the media. It's coinciding with new releases of UAP sightings, and it's coinciding with a subtle but noticeable shift in tone from the Vatican.
What has the Vatican been saying? I know that the Archdiocese, McElroy there, he punished that priest who said it was demons. What's coming from the Vatican? I haven't heard much from that.
Well, in typical Vatican fashion, they're not speaking about, Pope Leo's not speaking about this.
Right.
He's using other people to do that for him, and then not correcting them or not intervening when they're starting to say things that are a bit, unfamiliar to us. So it's a clever form of a communication. Recently, we had the parish discussion, they called it, a nice synodal discussion in the Vatican at St. Anne's Parish, and they're introducing concepts. They're not saying this is what it is, this is what it isn't. They're just introducing the dialogue, and it's very subtle. They have an end goal, and they have a position of where they want to transition you to, but they're doing it in a crafty way. So it's like, hey, the aliens could be our best friends.
Yeah, I know a number of clergymen that's laid out in the article that was published on Integrity. They will say, oh, well, we don't mind aliens. We can baptize them. They're made in the image of God. They're our brothers. So it does bring into question all this other stuff that modernists really love to talk about. This cosmic Christ, this, utopian brotherhood of man, needing to come together because aliens are threatening our existence. Do you see anything like that at all out there too?
I yes, definitely. Interestingly enough, this has been a while in the making. This just, but what we're seeing is what I call an intensification, and this has, in my view, something to do with the future signs that we are told about in Fatima and Garabandal about the final warning and Christ's sign in the sky. And I see this as an attempt to get ahead of that, and then potentially link it with a false association with aliens or AI or drones or technology, and control the narrative when that happens.
Yeah, I think it has something to do as well with what's going on in the Middle East. I do think, prophecy, biblical sort of things, especially with the state of Israel, Netanyahu going to war, really dragging the U.S. into the war against Iran. And there could be something there. If they're trying to provoke, as they have been, really the Antichrist, their Messiah, false Messiah, obviously, then, maybe they could say, we could unite mankind, and then whoever this alien being is presented to us as, or an AI figure of some kind, they could fake a sort of apocalypse or return of our Lord, with the hologram or something. There's something there. I don't know how to fully express it, but I think there's something tied up in that.
Well, I if we look at Revelation chapter 12, we have a series of wonders in the sky.
Yes, yes.
with the Virgin, with the Church, with the man-child, and with the great dragon. And the great dragon, this is polyvalent, of course. It's has multiple manifestations. It's not just foretelling the birth of Christ. This is also a future apocalyptic vision that we're seeing in Revelation 12, which Fatima speaks to. But seeing the dragon in the sky is not about seeing a fiery dragon with scales and breathing out flames onto the world. It's a spiritual significance, and there will be some manifestation of display in the sky which represents the dragon, but it's not going to be a physical dragon that we see, or a serpent, or any.
You're telling me Smog is not going to come back? Lord of the Rings. I'm so disappointed.
I know that would be something to see, wouldn't it? That would be something to see. We will have some counter to Christ's sign, whether it's before or whether it's after. The devil's going to have his counter to it. He knows this is coming. He knows his days are short. He knows he's going to be exposed. The Luciferians don't want that, so he's got his option A, B, C, D, E, and F, and he's putting out his cards right now. Whether it's AI holograms, whether it's Iranian drones, or Project Bluebeam, which is the name of the CIA plan for, as you said, mimicking a false rapture, or a false alien attack, or a false divine sign.
Yes, I think that's all there.
Yeah.
I think, and here's the headline: CBS News: Pentagon releases more UFO files, speechless after these observations. So the deep state's in coordination, and Spielberg, I mean, he's just the window dressing, right? Here he is talking with Ben Mankiewicz. I want to just play this clip because I think the point of it, and Spielberg just spills the beans blatantly. He says this is going to shock and rock people's faith, and I think that's what the first, soften the soil, right? And then they'll plant the seed. So here's what he says.
Specifically Christians' faith.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, they want to attack Christians.
This truth were just known overnight. If the government announced, yes, we have been keeping this from you since 1947, that would mess up a lot of people. And the movie also takes the position of the church. What does this do to the fundamental beliefs that many of us have? And, is God our God only on this planet, or is God a God for every system where there's civilization, intelligent life, and even developing life?
Yeah, it's fascinating to hear him as a Jew speak about the church, and if he's a part of it. But that's sort of the goal, I think, of this whole thing.
Absolutely. And there's a certain arrogance coming across when he's saying the church shares our position.
That's right.
And there's a certain truth to that as well, unfortunately, with some people in the church. I mean, in that regard, he's not lying. Because there are these forces. We call it the shadow force in Fatima. Malachi Martin referred to it as the super force, changed it slightly, but there is a Luciferian cabal that has infiltrated the Vatican, and this is top of their agenda here. And that's why I see it from where I stand, that pieces are being put together now. The cards are starting to come out on the table. It's a long process ahead of us. They've got a plan going forward, but they're setting the stage now because we're getting close to that critical time for these wonders in the sky prophesied in Revelation 12 and in Fatima and Garabandal, and they know that. They are very, very aware of those prophecies, and they take them quite seriously. And we're seeing the moves being made, and it's synchronized.
Mm-hmm.
So if Spielberg's saying, hey, this position is shared with the church, it's because Spielberg is speaking to people in the church.
Right.
And if Trump's saying this, and Pete Hegseth is saying this, and the task force is saying this, and suddenly Fox News and CNN, their tone has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Before, whenever the subject of UFOs or aliens came on, they always treated it with a certain cavalier attitude and a certain, tinfoil hat time, and playing the X-Files theme song in the end. That's all gone now. Have you noticed?
That's right.
The tone has changed because, again, there is a synchronized strategy and a synchronized communication going on, and it's lining up.
Yeah, I think aliens are going to take the place of God, really. As you said in one of your recent tweets, like they will be presented as superior beings, and that they have this advanced technology, AI. Things can be faked. We don't know it's real sometimes. And they're going to be presented as a sort of guardian race or something, and that we have to somehow, worship them or something. I mean, it's all, as you said, being coordinated right now. It's
absolutely. And the Bible warns us. I'm trying to find it's Colossians 2:18. This is a prophecy. This is an apocalyptic prophecy. So this is a cryptic warning about the future. Let no man beguile you of your reward, which is our salvation in Christ, in a voluntary humility and worshiping of angels, intruding into those things he has not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind. So we're going to see that, man. We're going to be presented with that case of, hey, let's be humble. We're only simpleton humans, and these aren't demons. They're angels. They're I mean, in the film, they're called supreme beings.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty overt.
Yeah, they're called supreme beings, and there's this scene where the nun. I mean, this is where we get into the symbology. There's a nun, and Josh O'Connor's girlfriend is a former nun, and he and her have got to escape because they're in trouble because they've got the USB files and what have you. And they go to the monastery for refuge, and the Mother Superior there. Oh, this is the name of the monastery is St. Clair of Assisi.
Yeah.
St. Clair is the patron saint of television, and the patron saint of illumination for sight. So Spielberg sort of signaling, hey, this is going to illumine you Catholics.
Wow. They never miss, don't they? They're always intentional about what they're.
Yeah, and she was a follower of Francis of Assisi, who we know had interactions with non-human entities called animals. he was, so it's all tied in there. But Jane is asking the Mother Superior that she's asking, what would happen if we release these files and proof of life and all of that, and the nun who's like the good woke liberal Vatican nun is saying it's cool.
That's great.
It's
we're brothers in Christ.
yeah. She's saying, man, this is a quote. Humans are the supreme being on Earth, only Earth. So implying that the other supreme beings, and they must be more supreme because they're elder and they've got these really groovy groovy gifts that they're going to give us.
Now, what do you make? Because there have been some so-called whistleblowers. I don't know anything about these guys. David Grush, he's out here appearing with congressmen and congresswomen, I believe. Rep Luna, Anna Paulina Luna, I think is her name, down in D.C. She's been sort of involved in this. I just want to play this because this guy is alleging the physical form of these things. Yeah. I just want to get your reaction.
Continuum from corporeal bipedal type life to what I would consider like sentient plasmoid life, but there are several that the U.S. government is aware of.
It's a longer clip, but he basically goes on and says that he tries to describe their physical form or something. I don't know if you've seen them or not, but what are your thoughts on that?
We will see that. They will present a body to us. Bookmark this post. They will present that body. I don't know when. I don't think it's imminent. They've got their timeline. We don't know what it is, but it's going to be the rug pull. Now, whether they have manufactured that body or not, I don't know. But you
can 3D print anything these days.
Well, yeah, but even if it was organic, that doesn't mean that it's not demonic. And we had a great discussion on one of the space calls about this, because a lot of this argument about aliens and demons and seems to rest on physicality. And there's, I would say, a misconception by many, that physicality determines whether you're a demon or not. And if there's physicality, well, then you can't be a demon. And we had a great discussion on that, because we dug into the scriptures and we dug into Catholic theology, and that's not the case at all. Demons can manifest physically. How they manipulate that, or I don't know, we don't know, you don't know, but they can shapeshift. They can present themselves in various forms, and even more bizarrely is these forms can have an enduring physicality to them. So unlike maybe a temporary physicality, there can be an enduring physicality, and that's we need to start talking about that, because there's an education that needs to be had here, and we need to go back to the sources, because there's arguments being made. Well, if they're demons, why do they need a craft? If they're demons, then they're invisible. You can't see them. So if we're seeing them, they can't be demons. We potentially get into minefields around terminology, and concepts of definitions of alien, of demon. And to be honest with you, people don't really understand the word alien or the word demon or the diversity of forms and types. And doing some research and going back to Thomas Aquinas and St. Augustine, they encountered this before. Not gray aliens that we're presented with, but in the older times, they had the incubus and the succubus legends. And they were determined to be demonic manifestations with a physical component to it, because there was coitus involved. There was some physical exchange, but of a demonic entity manifesting, and that's a paradox that that makes our head spin. And this is the thing with the phenomena, is the paranormal component to it, and no one wants to discuss that. we're concerned about the conversation is, well, how fast can these craft go? Can they avoid radar? Where did they come from? How many light years does it take? And the paranormal aspect of it seems to be disregarded. And so, like, when I see this, which I think was an outrageous act to dismiss Rossetti, the exorcist, based on his opinion, I think that's pretty unprecedented. And again, it points to the synchronization of the timing. I think it's outrageous that a celebrity, an exorcist, is dismissed because he has an opinion that some, I don't think he said all, I think he said some or many manifestations of UFOs and aliens are demonic. And the pushback was, well, that's not what our theology says about demons and devils and exorcisms. And so it seems they want to divorce that. They want to make a clean divorce and rule that out. And I think, this is my opinion, I don't think McElroy took that decision on his own. This is DC. This is political. And again, synchronized. Someone in DC wasn't happy with Rossetti's social media posting.
Right.
Probably spoke to someone in the Vatican, and they said, "Let's put a stop to this right now." And I think it's a warning shot. I think it's a signal, because, what does that say to every other exorcist doing their job, doing insalubrious work? And we need those guys.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe who's the Priscilla Ripperger, because he's big on this. He's sort of known for in those circles, and will he keep speaking out? And I think it'll be interesting to watch.
It will be interesting to watch. We'll have to wait and see, because if you're in that position yourself and you have those opinions, and they're quite reasonable opinions, and quite, Rossetti's not like, espousing a crazy opinion here, and he's allowed to have an opinion. He's allowed to have an opinion, but no, he's not.
That's right.
And if you're in that position, if you're another exorcist somewhere, you're probably going to be thinking, I better just shut up.
That's right. Yeah. I think that zooming out, big picture, for me, this is a perfect sort of secular spirituality for the non-believer, because the aliens or the UFOs and things, these are like the apparitions that the church has always had, right? Like Fatima and Lourdes and things like that. This is where we see things from heaven. And now we have, secularists who look and say, oh, well, what's in the skies? And then they build the sort of spirituality sort of around it. Do you sort of see it as the same thing? Because again, this is being rolled out with Spielberg and others. They're trying to basically break people's faith and build them up into the sort of secular humanist ideology, really. I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And there was a funny synchronicity in the film. This Jane, the quasi nun, she hasn't completed her novitiate because she's had sort of a crisis of faith, but not a crisis of faith in God. But as the Mother Superior educates her, it's a crisis of faith in people. You just don't trust people. You have to have faith in people. You have to have faith in the people making these decisions. And that just, when I saw it just brought me back to Leo's recent statement on the ongoing rapprochement with the Anglicans. Yeah. And he's sending these tweets out with his discussions with, I can't call her the Archbishop. I'm sorry. Yeah. Malali. Malali mania. That's what I call it.
He's sending out tweets and saying, you know what, whatever problems we have, God has trusted us, and we have to trust people to make the right decisions.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's put your trust in man, put your trust in us, and that is exactly what that nun was saying in the film. And I just thought, they're speaking to one another.
Now, on the film itself, I'm not sure if you've seen. This is Novus Ordo priest Father Dan Rehill. He says the film might be cursed. Even I think it's kind of an interesting theory here. I want your thoughts on this in a second.
The movie itself, I'm not saying this is what was done, but this could be done. The movie could be consecrated to Satan, and demons can be attached to the movie. This used to happen with heavy metal bands. Big rock bands would consecrate their albums to Satan, and even have black masses to attach demons to the people who would listen to the music. That I learned from Father John Carapi, who used to be multimillionaire in LA and was invited to some of these things. So he saw it firsthand.
Did you sense anything like that? I mean, I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know.
I don't think it's a may. I think it's a likely.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching it and I felt sick, not because of what I was seeing. I just had a feeling of anxiety, and it was mild. It wasn't a panic attack or anything. And I thought, what's going on here? And it's, maybe it's not because of any satanic blessing or anything, but there was parts of the film in the audio with the subwoofer bass that's just really dark and sort of penetrates you with those frequencies, and you feel it, but you don't know, and the scenes are moving so fast that you can't really, it's hard to follow. So there's another disorientation for you. Mm-hmm. And there's part of the scenes, part of the action scenes where the camera's just vibrating really rapidly, but in just tiny like millimeters. So you don't spot it, but you feel it.
Sort of like, sounds like a sort of advanced psychological manipulation of sorts. It sounds like,
and physical.
Yeah,
it produces a physical effect, and I'm sure it's thinking. They're thinking, well, we need you to feel uncomfortable because we want to produce the calming effect at the end, which they do really nicely at the end of the show. The last 10 minutes is the music changes. It's calm. It's sweet. It's, the Spielberg wishing upon a star sort of thing from Close Encounters. The files get uploaded. Disclosure day is here. Your world is rocked. Everything changes. The crisis going on is resolved. And then the big reveal. Close your ears if you don't want to hear this.
Pause it, fast forward. All right, go ahead.
The big climax is bringing the alien on stage in the news studio.
Oh, wow.
And it's
Does it appear as a human then, or is it what does it look like?
No, it's really it's ridiculous actually. I almost was laughing at it. It's an elderly alien, an elderly tall gray alien. So not the 4-foot little munchkins we see, but like a 10 feet tall elderly gray alien. So we're seeing in that symbology wisdom.
Maybe he's our elder brother in the faith.
Probably elder father. He's elderly. He's coming out of an alien wheelchair.
What the heck?
It's like an kind of an egg on wheels, and the egg enclosure opens up, and he sort of struggles to, get out.
Sounds like Jurassic Park stuff, sort of. I don't know.
Well, they're showing he's vulnerable too. He's vulnerable just like you and me. And, he might have these sort of weird black buggy eyes, but come on, he's in a wheelchair. He's frail. And
you shouldn't be afraid. He's innocent. Yeah, sure.
And he does that.
That's bizarre. That thing, I'm disturbed by that. That there has to be something about that language then, and the frequency, like you said, that they're using for that. It's very disturbing to even just watch the trailer as they unveil that. I don't know why. It's something maybe advanced about that.
Yeah, who knows if they're putting some subliminal message in that. I'm sure there's something to it. It's not a pleasant language to hear. And then the alien blesses humanity. So he laying on hands and psychically blessing humanity. Incredible. And our world is no longer the same.
Yeah, this is so satanic. I mean, it's obvious what they're doing. I'm not going to watch it, but everything you described, it's completely in your face. It's coordinated, and oddly enough, I had a very strange feeling like that when I was watching Nefarious. That was a movie released several years ago. It was about a jailman and a guy who was possessed by a demon. And I know a lot of Christians really liked it because it was like, showing the ugliness of the devil in your face. I thought it was very accurate, but I just had a very sick feeling about that. But David, we only have about 5 more minutes with you. Maybe wrap this up. Put a bow on it if you could, because you're talking about Fatima. You're talking about sort of the end of times here. We're talking about war in Israel. This involves Hollywood. It involves psychological stuff. What's sort of the big takeaway? How is this all interrelated here?
The big takeaway is we have to be very discerning. The times are accelerating, and we need to be aware of that. We need to seek refuge in the original message of Fatima from 1917 that wasn't withheld, which is Spiritual 101. Stop offending God. Receive the holy sacraments. Turn back to God. The time is short now. It's short. We're being. This is what part of the warning signs that we're told about in from my private revelations of the final decade before Christ's sign. So we have to educate one another, support one another, and the sacraments are so important right now because we are in for deceptions that you can't even imagine. And like I said, they will bring out the body. I think they will bring out the body, and we have to be prepared for that now. Yeah. We have to prepare others for that, because a lot of people will there's physicality. It's the body. They're not demons. That you guys were.
The Vatican will issue a statement. It's going to be paraded around. Something. It's going to be big. I agree with you. Yeah. Well, David, thank you for coming on. I'm glad you were safe while watching that show. You survived the movie, so I appreciate it, and I know our viewers do as well. That's right. You got to bring holy water into the movie. Yeah. But pleasure. Thank you for coming here and coming on Integrity Magazine podcast. And anything else to add for today?
Thank you so much for having me here, and people can follow me on X. My name is my tag, and I'm always posting about Fatima and disclosure and these subjects. So I live and breathe this stuff.
Absolutely. Here is David's X account here.
A younger me.
That's right. Yeah, it's good. Do go to his channel here, x.com/David Smuts. And support him there. Thank you again for coming on, David. And take care, everybody. Thank you for watching the Counter-Revolutionary Roman Catholic podcast.